Hi, everyone. I wanted to touch base on energy harvesting, which is a part of spiritual warfare, right? And so, when it comes to energy harvesting, the way that these entities collect the energy is through your emotions. And it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. So, for them, usually they get more out of it when it's bad, right? So usually you'll notice that they like suffering. I'll give you an example. Like, the narcissist will always trigger you on certain points that they understand that it disturbs you, right? And you go, oh, they're always gonna want to poke at something that they know that it's gonna get a negative reaction from you, right? So, I wanted to touch base on something deeper though. When we go through losing our innocence at an early age, right? Or even as an adult. Like for me, I'm being very careful right now on the words that I use to bring this to light because I want to make sure that the message gets to everyone, and I just want to make sure that giving a clear message, but I'm not bringing out the words that are triggering. So just follow me as I go with this. So if you guys have been following my story, I share that I've lost my innocence at a very young age. The rituals were performed on me, and that it was like a real ritualistic thing that was being done to me from an early young age, right? So I lost my innocence at an early age, right? So the point being that if we have faced something similar, right, and we're struggling to forgive because it was somebody close to us, or such as a parent or a family member or even a close friend, or even if you were an adult and your it was taken from you, right? Or that sexual exchange was taken from you, not of your free will, but it was taken from you. Then this is a way that I've learned on how to heal that, how to address it, right? So because it was done to me at a very young age, and it was from a family member, right? I ended up being in pain for a lot of years, right? And one of the ways that this secret society that I was raised by harvest energy from me, or were able to attach certain entities, was based on that trauma of me being abused at that extent at such an early age, and not being able to speak about it and not being able to heal on it, which at the end was my decision. Like, as an adult, we have to take responsibility for our own selves and go ahead and look for the resources that we need in order to heal, right? So it took me a while, and it took me a long time to even let people know that that had happened to me. And then it took much more courage to come up here and be like, hey, guess what? Right? But this is my role, right? This is, I went through it, I healed from it, now I get to speak about it and help other people heal. Well, one of the things that I've learned in my journey is that one of the ways that these people harvest energy is through molestation, right? And so it's it's part of their their rituals that they like to do those things, right? They find it's just what they do. Let's just, they're demonic, that's what they do, that's what the diabolical people do, point blank. Well, the point that I'm getting at is that in order for me to heal that, what I did was I identify that as being possessed by a demon, right? Like, the person that did it had to be possessed by a demon in order to be able to do that. So when I look at it that way, as demonic possession, I'm able to detach the person from the demon, So, like, whether whoever it was, whatever title they had in society, if I'm able to identify that they're operating by a spirit, right? And that spirit was diabolical. We could all agree on that, right? So I separated the person from the spirit, and then I can forgive the person no matter who they were. And then, like, we don't, at least for me, I don't entertain spirit like diabolical. I don't do diabolical. Just no, I don't do diabolical, especially to that extent. So having identified what spirit they were operating under, going to the extent of identifying that you're possessed, like that demonic possession when you do that, and then understanding that this is what demons need in order to harvest energy from regular human beings, right? Because they're demonic possessed. Yeah, it's a possession. They're possessed. There's a demonic possession, right? So it's not a human being. So it's the spirit that's operating through them that needs that energy to harvest, and the way that they get it is through doing those horrific activities. And so when I look at it like that, I'm able to forgive the people. And by forgiveness, I don't even have to, like, tell them, hey, I forgive you. I do that energetically. I'll write a letter or I'll do a meditation session and be like, you're forgiven. And then I don't ever have to interact with you again. That's it. That timeline, I literally eliminated that timeline of when that existed. I speak about it now because there's so many of us that have gone through this, and it keeps us in shame and guilt and remorse, and that's how other entities are able to be attached to us, because we are dealing with those already that we don't heal. So if there's something that they can latch onto, if they're that's how they get us into the trap, right? So in order for spiritual warfare to work, there has to be something that they can use, and it has to be like a negative emotion that carries shame, guilt, unforgiveness, resentment, all of that horrible stuff, right? That we don't look at. So the more that we speak about that, things that are constantly in our minds, things that we feel shame about, things that we feel remorse about, things that we're not so proud of, whether we are the person that caused it or somebody caused it onto us, and we're able to heal from it, then we heal little by little as a collective in unity, right? So I've had this in my mind all morning, all afternoon. I've been cleaning my house all day long. Like, I did deep cleaning, like cleaning. And so I wanted to come up here and share that because it has been on my mind all day long. Because when we look at it like that, when we're able to identify that, this person is possessed by a demon, right? And we remove the titles no matter who it is, right? Then we are able to find some relief in the scenario. It doesn't make it okay in any form, but it gives us a little bit more of acceptance towards getting closer to forgiveness. Okay, I hope you have a good night. Most likely, since I started talking, I just keep going, bro. I'm going to... Okay.